Hello, how's it going, y'all? Before I start the show, I want to give a special shout out to all the owners, the staff in the NFL, the players that came together and united and kneeled together, locked arms together, and all them great things after we had the disrespect from the president, Donald Trump. I think this is getting us a step closer. It's a good thing. It's great to see unity, and that's what it's about. Everybody being together and not going against each other. Something that Donald Trump seemed like he's trying to make happen. But with that being said, I feel like everybody acting like they're opening their eyes are opening up and they're starting to understand where Kaepernick is coming from. Yeah, I can say that, but I can't really say too much. I can't really say that that's what it is. That's what's happening now, that the owners is understanding where Kaepernick is coming from and things like that. But the question now is any of the NFL owners going to give Kaepernick the job? Because he's at the same time, he's still unemployed. He's still better than at least 15 players, 15 starting quarterbacks in the league right now. And after that will just put the icing on the cake, because this man is the first to that started this protest. He's the first that put his job on the line, and he's the only one that's unemployed right now due to that. So until one of you owners really get his do the job, then it's looking like a front. It's looking like y'all just doing it for the show. Be authentic. Let's see one of you owners, which one of y'all gonna step out and really take that first step and sign Kaepernick. That there's some teams that's out there that can help a team win. And I can name more than 5 teams right now where that guy can be very productive on. And that's the next step. Now we're going to A1 Sports Politics. How's it going, bro? Welcome to A1 Sports Politics with your main man, K-Dub. I hope everybody enjoyed the third week of football, man. Even if your team lost, don't be mad, man. You got 13 more weeks to go, and plus more if your team make it to the playoffs. Good luck to them. All right, first game I'm going to talk about today. I'm not going to start with my Eagles because somebody told me, oh, man, you already started with Eagles. So I'm going to give y'all what y'all want. I'm going to start with the Oakland game. Sunday night game, Oakland versus Washington. Now, myself, being an Eagle fan, being familiar with the NFC East, I thought that the Oakland Raiders was going to come in and tear down the Washington Redskins. Why? Because they don't have that much defense. Their offense is average. They're an average team. Oakland, on the other hand, they're a pretty good team, especially offensively. Now, this whole game right here, I'm blaming this on the offense of the Oakland Raiders. Why? Because they did not play up to their ability. They let an average, below average defense in Washington stop them and held them only to 10 points. That's not cool, and that's not impressive at all. That's actually a disappointment. And only giving Crabtree and Cooper one catch, car? Come on, man. You're driving the car. And this week you just drove the car off the cliff. He was not a leader. I'm blaming the whole thing on Carr. Carr threw the ball for 118 yards. That's not enough. Not enough. Not on no below average defense like in Washington. They don't have that much of a defense, but they do have Josh Norman, who's over there mouthing off every play, damn near. And I feel like this dude really intimidated Carr, Cooper, Crabtree. Like, come on, man. He's a good corner. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a great corner. He's not the real Ravens back in the days. He's not Deion Sanders. He's not that type of guy. This is a dude that can get beat on a 50-yard catch or something. He'll still tackle. He'll tackle you and he'll make it seem like he just made a play. He likes to intimidate people, and that's what he did to the Oakland Raiders offense. Now, I'm not going to blame all of it on Carr, but I feel like Carr is the man in the front seat, and he's the leader. He's a quarterback. But also, I have a problem with Marshawn Lynch only getting 6 carries. That's not enough for 18 yards. That's not cool. But anyway, we all know that Oakland defense is not that good. And I'm still blaming on the offense of Oakland because they did not give it. They have a defense that leans on the offense. You know, it should be the other way around. If you're talking about a Super Bowl team, they're not a Super Bowl team. So Oakland Raiders fans, y'all need to sit down somewhere and just be patient until y'all go get some defense to where the offense can lean on the defense. Like in this game, that wasn't the case. Look what the defense allowed. They allowed Kirk Cousins to look like Tom Brady out there throwing for 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, with a QB rating of 150.7. That's terrible. But we not surprised because Oakland do not have that defense, and they don't have a good defense. Thompson, who I have on my fantasy team, blew it up, gave me 30 points, 6 receptions, 150 yards, a long reception for 74 yards, big in a touchdown. Imagine what Tom Brady will do to you, Oakland Raiders, in the playoffs. For real. Be authentic. Imagine what he'll do to y'all, Oakland Raider fans. Be real. And that's that. That's why Washington ended up winning 27-10. It is what it is. Now, on to the next game. My Eagles versus the Giants. A division rivalry, yes, and I was expecting a good game. I was not expecting for the Giants to score 24 points in the fourth quarter. No, I was not. Who was expecting that? But, I mean, we know they're capable of doing it, but they have not done that none this season. Going into this game, I felt like we was going to touch Eli because he does not play good against my Eagles. And with them having probably the worst offensive line in the league, I thought we was going to touch him a lot. And we did not. That's a disappointment for our defense because we did not get not one sack on Eli Manning, who's scared. All you got to do is flinch at him, cough at him, or something. He's going to fall. And we couldn't make that happen. And that was a big part. And I feel like that played the big part in them scoring 24 points in one quarter. Pathetic. And we need to work on our defense and corners. We got to work on our corners. Odell Beckham, when he's in the game, he's a game changer. He's a playmaker. He's all that in one. Yes, he's one of the best receivers in the league. We didn't have no answer for him. The Eagles did not have an answer for him. And Shepard, who also had a good game, got one of his touchdowns called back. And no, it was not a touchdown, Giants fans. It was not a touchdown. He didn't have control when he went out of bounds. No, we know the rules that's in the NFL. We know. But other than that, my Eagles did. What was impressive that my Eagles did was run the ball. Our running game was right. We ran for 200 yards damn near, and I like to see that. I like to see Blunt going. I like to see Smallwood going, who stepped up big time in the replacement of Derrick Rose, who we will miss, a big part of our offense. Now, when we run a ball like that, it takes a lot of pressure off our second-year quarterback, Wentz. Wentz, who had a pretty good game, too, as well. He got the W, and we know his mobility. He really was using that. Then had no turnover, and that's pretty big. Now, let's talk about the Giants really quick. They offensive line is not that good, but they stood in there and they blocked for Eli and was able to get him the ball, get him to start spreading the ball around to get it to Marshall, Shepard, and Odell. I think this team they on one. They starting to get their rhythm, but their run game is not enough, and that's part of the reason why they lost too. The run game, when they should have been running the ball and go in the red zone and stuff like that. They didn't. Now, the game ended up being 24-24 out of nowhere. And here comes this rookie, Elliott, hits him with a 61-yarder for the win. We went crazy. I went crazy. And Giants fans, I know y'all walked out of there sour, but y'all was not supposed to score 24 points in the fourth quarter. That wasn't supposed to happen anyway. But big win for my Eagles. Elliott, that dude need a raise. He's a rookie, and his future looking bright. Just keep it up. Keep it up for us. And we end up getting the win 27-24. Eagles. Now on to the next game. The Cowboys versus the Cardinals. Monday Night Football. I'm jumping to Monday Night Football. Okay. The Cowboys. They played a heck of a game. I knew that this game could go either way. Arizona, who's a pretty good team, they expectations is up here. It's been up here since last year, and they was a disappointment last year, and it looked like they've been a disappointment this year too. The Cowboys went there and handled business. Dak is he's the truth. I'm not gonna lie, he's the truth. That Cardinal defense is not the same. They still got Peterson, the Honey Badger, and stuff like that. They have a decent defense, but I feel like that team is just off right now. There's some changes that need to be done in Arizona because I expected different things from them, you know. But Dak, man, had a pretty good game. He was the game changer. He set it off when he rushed for that touchdown and did a front flip. That was big, man. He threw for 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's good for him, man. And this dude, I hate to say this, man. You see my hat. I'm an Eagle fan. This guy remind me of every little bit of Donovan McNabb. I hate to say it, I'm sorry, but it is. And his future is bright, we know that. But I do have a problem with him. Yeah, he got the ball to this dude Butler, who had a pretty hell of a game. He had a hell of a game with a new piece for the Dallas Cowboys. But Dez only getting 2 catches. 2 catches. He was targeted 2 times and got 2 catches for 12 yards. A hell of a touchdown, yeah. But 2 catches? Come on, Dak. You got to get him the ball. You got to get that guy the ball. That's one of the best receivers in the league. Now, and they defense played good. That dude Lawrence having 3 sacks and they whole defense having 6 sacks, that's big for Dallas. We know Dallas ain't no defensive team, but Carson Palmer, who wanted to sit back there and hold the ball forever, and they offensive line in Arizona is not looking nice at all. And that's probably why Carson Palmer had to throw the ball damn near 50 times for 326 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, let me tell y'all who still have game, man. Probably need to just take his talent somewhere else. Larry Fitzgerald had a hell of a game. 13 catches for 149 yards. That's big. And for his age, that's real big. And Arizona messed up, I think, because when they was down in the red zone and they could have had the game down to only 8 points and could have took the field goal, they didn't, and they went for it on 4th down, and that's why the lead expanded like it was, and it was 28-17. That's what it is. And now on to the next game, Green Bay Packers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I heard all the chitty chatting and stuff like that, saying that the Bengals was possible to beat the Packers. I don't know who thought that. Come on now, we see what the Bengals been doing. They look all the way off. They need to fire their coach. That's what needs to go down there. But I don't know who thought that they was gonna win. It looked like they was gonna win. But the great Aaron Rodgers had a great comeback, throwing for 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's great for him. He got beat up. He did get sacked 6 times. We do know that the Packers they're hurting right now. As usual, same win with last year, same going with this year on the offensive line now. And the Bengals was able to get to Rodgers 6 times. And this dude, Lawson, had almost 3 sacks on Rodgers. This dude he had a big game. But that didn't stop Aaron Rodgers from connecting with the new weapon over in Green Bay, Geronimo Allison, who had a good game, man. Targeted 8 times, had 6 catches for 122 yards. I seen this dude last year, man. And I told my cousin, who's a big Packer fan, I said, man, y'all got something in that number 81 right there. And look, this dude had a pretty good game. He was the game changer with no Cobb, who keep consistently having injury problems since he done got his big contract. And Nelson, who we thought was going to be out for some time, and he ended up finding his way back. He had a pretty good game too. And for the Packers, they need a running back, man. They still need a running back. Man, that dude is not a running back. He's not a running back. He's a receiver. That's why he's still wearing his number 88. If he was a true running back, he would not have a number in the 80s. That's just letting you know. They need a running back. They need to run the game over in Green Bay. I don't care what nobody's saying. When the playoffs come up, they're going to need a running back. But Rodgers, well, a great comeback. Pushing the game to overtime, getting his first overtime victory and his first victory over the Bengals as well, and winning the game 27-24. That's big, but good luck to the Green Bay Packers. Andy Dalton. Let me get on Andy Dalton and the offense that's going on in Cincinnati. Andy Dalton, he had a decent game. We know he's a above average quarterback. He threw for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. They remembered that they had AJ Green, who I still think is a top 5 top 5 receiver in the league. 6 receptions for 111 yards. But it just seemed like Andy Dalton is off. I know that they got a new offensive play caller in there, but he's just missing throws and missing wide open guys that should, the stuff that he should compete. He been in the league for long enough, and I don't understand what's going on over there. Andy Dalton need to get his stuff together, but they have a problem in Cincinnati. On to the next. Okay, now let's get into this game. Atlanta Falcons versus Detroit Lions. This is one of the most talked about games. I feel like this is a big game because we know both of these young, good quarterbacks, Ryan and Stanford, was going. They was going to put on the show, and they did that. Atlanta getting out to the first jump. When I see Atlanta with the lead, I say, okay, Detroit is they're a comeback type team. Matthew Stanford, he likes to come back, and he's capable of doing that. But It was a tricky game, man. Like, but that's the thing about Detroit. When you watch it, I know for Detroit fans, I'm sure that they be nervous because they like, oh, like what's gonna happen? Because they always on the edge of their seats. And Stanford, he's a fighter. He don't go away. He don't not go away. But it was a pretty good game. Let me just say this about the Atlanta Falcons. I love they 1-2 punch as far as the running back position between Coleman and Freeman. Them dudes is pretty good. If you can get out of them two players and get 150 yards from two, I'm with that. I'm all for that, and that's always good. But that last play, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if y'all think it was a touchdown or if y'all don't. I think it was a touchdown. I totally think the tape got in there. The ball was over the line before his knee even dropped. He got over the line. But it came down to the last play, and that was a hell of a game, and that's what we love to see. But do y'all think that it was a touchdown or not? Let me know. And Atlanta, who still haven't lost, still undefeated, was able to win this game. This is the second game that they've been in. This is the second game that they've been in a really, really tight game. But Atlanta still got away with the win, winning over the Detroit Lions 30-26. Now on to the next. Let's get to this Pittsburgh versus the Chicago Bears. Man, I'm upset because I started Big Ben. I thought Big Ben was going to go air it out. I know it was going to be a good game. I knew it was going to be a good game because it's something that they got going on over there in Chicago, man. They got a lot of energy, man. They playing their hearts out there. And I seen that in the preseason. I'm like, man, these dudes got some weapons and they could be something. And they were that. They gave Big Ben and them everything that they was looking for. Of course, they didn't have an answer for Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers in the league, who had 10 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. No, they didn't have an answer for him. But they had an answer for Bell. Bell got to do better. Only 15 rushes for 61 yards and a touchdown. He have to do better. He set out and then show up to training camp and all that type of stuff. He got to do better, man. And he's one of the best running backs in the league, but he haven't rushed for 100 yards yet within these 3 weeks. They need more from that dude. But Big Ben, on the other hand, had a pretty good game, threw for 235 yards. That's cool. But it wasn't enough. The Bears still pitted on them. They was able to still hold the Pittsburgh Steelers to 17 points, who had one of the best offenses in the league. Now, this Bears team can be pretty interesting, and that NFC North can be pretty interesting because we know that Aaron Rodgers run that division, yeah. But with him and the Green Bay Packers having a problem on the offensive line, these dudes can be a problem for them, most definitely. That dude Howard, man, whoever had him on his fantasy, good luck. Matter of fact, I played against the guy that had him on his fantasy, and he had him on the bench, and I was like, yes. But this dude had a great game. 23 rushes for 138 yards with 2 touchdowns. And he picked it. This game went into overtime. Yeah, went into overtime because the Bears did not play the same that they did in the first 2 quarters. And they did not finish that way. But they did in overtime. And who picked the nail in the coffin? Howard with a nice run for a touchdown. And the Bears was able to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-17. It is what it is. On to the next. Okay, now let's get into this game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is a pretty good game. Two pretty good quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, 2 pretty good defenses. And, but Seattle don't have that running game that they have in Tennessee. No, they don't. And offensively, Seattle had a pretty good game. Russell, who's a pretty good quarterback. We all know what Russell can do. This probably was his best game of the season. Getting 4 touchdowns, throwing for 273 yards. Yeah, with no turnovers. That's pretty good. But he threw the ball 50 times. Why? Because he needed a run game. They do not have a run game. I thought Lacey was going to be the answer. I thought Ross was going to be the answer. But they don't have that no more. They need that. And that's probably why that he had to throw the ball that many times, because their offensive line is looking bad. Let me say this about offensive lines. If in this upcoming draft, if I don't see about 2 or 3 offensive linemen going in the first round, it's a problem. And it's going to be the same problem for the team that need offensive linemen, like the Seattle Seahawks, like the New York Giants. Them dudes need offensive linemen. But anyway, let's get back to this game. Now, yes, Seattle offense did play good. Their defense did not play good at all. Their defense got bullied. I never seen their defense get done like this. I like their defense, I always have. But that's not the same team. That's not the same team. No, they didn't miss them. They are not missing. They are not getting no new pieces on defense, but they're missing some pieces that they had when they was successful on offense. But that is starting to rub off on the defense because they got embarrassed. Murray had a big run, 75 yards, touchdown. I'm looking at the play like, are y'all serious right now? Where's Sherman at? Where's Eric Thomas? Where is Chancellor? Where is these dudes at? They got bullied, and the Tennessee Titans, who love to run the ball, was able to put up 195 rushing yards on them dudes. I just didn't understand. Mariota had a pretty good game, threw for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's big, man. But it wasn't enough, and that is totally on Seattle's defense. And Richard Sherman made a comment. Yeah, he know that their offense is not all that, but he said that they were going to carry the offense. They was going to have to carry the team. Yeah, we know that they have a good defense in Seattle, but they didn't have a good defense this week, and that's why they ended up losing 33-27 to the Tennessee Titans. A1 Sports Politics. That's all I have for y'all. Please comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And looking forward to week 4 NFL. A1, that's all I got for you.